Good evening, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Racing Line podcast with me, Charlie Tolhurst, episode number 3 of the podcast. I hope you're all having a great night. Yes, last time I done a collaboration episode with Catherine Potter Racing. That's now available on the YouTube channel to go and watch, where we had an in-depth discussion about all things motorsport. And this podcast also will be giving motorsport collaborators a chance to come on air, express their concerns, and also express their views about the world of motorsport, boost their channels up, and also, as well, provide a open, honest conversation about all things motorsport. Hello, guys. I'm your presenter, Charlie Tolhurst, and you got me tonight. And I'll be talking about all things motorsport, including a review of some of the action over the weekend. Racing's wrapped up in a few series today. The British Grand Prix, IndyCar, Formula E, and also we're going to be covering the European Le Mans Series Imola meeting as well. So we're going to start off with the Formula One British Grand Prix, which I watched earlier on this afternoon. At obviously a couple of my mates were at Silverstone. So if you're watching the show tonight, just to let you know, it is very late. You're probably partying now with the live music, I'm sure. But yes, Formula One raced at the British Grand Prix. I'll come on to the ending, which was chaotic, as it was anyway. In the end, though, after 52 laps of racing at Silverstone, Charles Leclerc won his first race since 2024. So quite a while, actually, since Charles Leclerc last won an F1 race. Would you believe it? He took victory in that one as well. Apologies, there's the screen. Apologies, my camera decided to freeze there again. But yes, Leclerc won ahead of George Russell, who was second. Obviously, by the way, there was a late race safety car after Max Verstappen spun off. Max Verstappen's Red Bull spun off at Stowe. We believe, according to Max, that the straight mode SM did not deactivate down into Stowe corner. As a result, the car basically lost control under the downforce and crashed. Max had the same issue in qualifying in Australia. I have to say, these new regs have been a disaster for F1. For me, the fact that these movable active aero has been causing so many issues in high-speed crashes, not ideal to see. Lewis Hamilton was third, despite getting a 5-second time penalty from the stewards, or actually getting a penalty for being out of for. He got a 5-second penalty for early on in the race. I believe that was something to do with an infringement. Being outside, I think it was being outside the 5-second warning or something. It was something like that. Hamilton got a penalty for that, but he recovered to third. Ferrari obviously have a second and third. Russell obviously managed to get second after struggling all weekend. Lando Norris fourth, be satisfied with that. McLaren have had a difficult weekend with a lot of issues with the car, just not having the pace. Isaac Hadjar, and call him, finished fifth, out-qualified Max Verstappen this weekend as well. Finished fifth. A pretty decent showing from him, I have to say, because the Red Bull's not very strong this season at all. I'll tell you what, a great weekend for Racing Bulls. Liam Lawson been very impressive, actually, in this season so far. Lawson and Lindblad having a decent battle with Hadjar at one point, finishing 6th and 7th. Gabriel Bortoleto finishes 8th. By the way, that's Audi's first points since Australia. Bortoleto got an 8th and 4 points for Audi. Franco Colapinto, who had a very bad qualifying after spinning off down at Maggots and Beckett's, managed to recover to 9th and still finishing ahead of his teammate Pierre Gasly. Both Alpines in the points. Oscar Piastri was 11th, a disastrous day for him. Contact on the first lap, or had front wing damage at the pit. Sadly, couldn't make any inroads. Then we had the two Hasses of Behrman, Ocon. Perez was 14th. A decent showing from Perez, actually, in the Cadillac, a team that are still very new to the grid. Antonelli, who was looking very, very likely to, at one point, even take the challenge for the win against Charles Leclerc. We believe it was a wheel shield issue, according to the Mercedes team boss, Mercedes race engineer Pete Bonington, to Kimi Antonelli. That's why he had to come in and had his race ruined, and also got a penalty for track limits, which I have to say was a bit harsh, given he had a broken car at one point. Antonelli's car having loads of problems. Valtteri Bottas was 16th. Carlos Sainz was 17th. After all that happened, contact and at one point running in the points. Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, 18th and 19th. Aston Martin finishing 18th and 19th. That was despite having an awful practice session where the car barely could even turn through cops. They had to turn on full lock, which was crazy. The AMR 26, still one of the worst handling F1 cars, as I mentioned. Verstappen retired, Albon retired. He also had contact with Behrman. I think it was Behrman or Ocon on the first lap. It was one of the Hasses that got involved. Sainz received one penalty lap for overtaking the safety car. Albon had a first lap, got a penalty for it, sadly retired. And then Nico Hülkenberg had a mechanical in the Audi. But now, the championship now. Obviously, the race ended behind the safety car. There was loads of issues with the safety car. I have to say, it was absolutely embarrassment to watch the end of the race. Seeing the safety car literally just being told to come in, then continue around. I thought it was just the same. They haven't learned from Abu Dhabi 2021, haven't they? It's such an embarrassing ending to that race there. But onto the Drivers' Championship now, which I'm going to get up for you now. The Drivers' standings as they come in. This is the 2026 driver standings for you now. And Antonelli is on 179 points. Is only 25 points now. George Russell, after having a difficult last few races now, Antonelli building up that big race, but then having a couple of DNFs, is now 25 points clear of Russell. Hamilton is in third, a further sort of 6.7 points back from Russell. Russell, then obviously, you've got Leclerc now on 108, Norris, Piastri, Verstappen 7th, Hadjar 8th, Gasly 9th. Lawson is now 10th. But yes, literally all to play for in this season. We go to Belgium next, the track that's going to definitely test these new cars, as Silverstone proved. If you watch the onboard through Maggots and Beckett's guys in the middle sector, it was horrible to watch the cars lose power through one of the best sequence of corners on the F1 calendar. I mean, one of my favourite middle sectors in the world. You know, that section's amazingly flat, fast, flat, and now it's all down to battery management this year. What a shame. Max Verstappen clearly unhappy after his race interview, saying that he thinks the sport's very dangerous now. Certainly. Maybe he'll walk away at the end of the year. Now, moving on now to the other series. We've got a few other series to review. We're going to start off next with the race at Mid-Ohio. Obviously, we have got on here, by the way, this is a Oldham Road America thing, but we're not going to go for Road America. We're going to go for the review of the latest race which took place at Mid-Ohio, the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. And I have to say, if you're a McLaren fan this evening, guys, you'll be pleased to announce that it was not just a win, it was a 1-2 finish. And crucially, Pato O'Ward got his first win of the season, his first podium of the 2026 season with a win. And having a fantastic battle with Christian Lundgaard. Some absolute... At one point, they actually touched. But great battle between the two of them. First and second there for Arrow McLaren. Carl Kirkwood was third. Rinus VeeKay was fourth. A great race from VeeKay. Showing again why he's got talent in that June Cross Hollinger racing car. Palau was sixth. Palau was fifth. Will Power was sixth. Rasmussen 7th. Malukas 8th. Joseph Newgarden 9th. Nolan Siegel was 10th as well. Also in IndyCar as well, Scott Dixon, who finished 17th. He will be leaving Chip Ganassi at the end of the season as well. Just to confirm, that was some news that we received the other day. Chip Ganassi will be parting ways with Scott Dixon at the end of the 2026 season. So just keep an eye on all that news as it comes in as well. But in terms of the championship for IndyCar now, well, I mean, it's pretty much certain that this season is going to go... This season's still going the way of Alex Palou, who leads the championship. Yes, he's on 404 points. He's 56 clear of Carl Kirkwood at the moment. So Palou's still leading the championship, but like I said, it's still a little way left to go of the IndyCar season. You know, there's not it's not over yet. For sure. In fact, the next race we're back to the ovals again on the 19th of July as we head to Boricetta Bulba Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, Tennessee, home of country music, and also the home of the Nashville Super Speedway. So, yes, Joseph Newgarden again victorious on the ovals. He's very good on the ovals, Newgarden is. So, could we see maybe a potential oval again for Newgarden like he won back at the Bomarito Automotive race? At Worldwide Technologies race where we don't know yet on that one. Anyway, next up, Formula E. We had 2 races at China. We went to Shanghai on a shortened layout for Formula E's latest rounds 12 and 13. Round 12 was won by, and I'm just going to get the results up here for you. Pascal Wehrlein took the win ahead of Da Costa, Dennis, Drogovic, De Vries, Vern Eriksson, Joe Eriksson, by the way, Mitch Evans, Gunther, and Muller. Race 2, on the other hand, round 13, was won, and this race, I have to say, Lucas Di Grassi from Lola Yamaha Apt Formula E team. Lucas Di Grassi won in changeable conditions. I'll tell you what, Di Grassi put up a drive from 19th on the grid. I remember when he drove in Mexico, was it a few years ago, before Gen 3, that he won the race literally after at one point being nearly involved in a collision and then managed to come back and win. And I remember that race. It was chaotic. At one point, he won it on the line. But yes, no, a great win for Di Grassi. First win in the Gen 3 era. He will be retiring at the end of the season, sadly. Jean-Eric Verne also at the back, finishing in second. And Joe Eriksson, the top 3 drivers, all started outside the top 10. That's crazy. Eriksson was third, final podium spot. Then we had Wehrlein fourth, Buemi fifth, getting quite close to comfort, I have to say, with some drivers there. Drogovic was sixth. He got pole position in that race. Muller was seventh. Rowland was eighth, got the fastest lap. So that bonus point for that. Taylor Barnard, 9th. Gunther was 10th as well. Dan Ticktum was 11th. Obviously, Dan Ticktum as well, guys, will be at Goodwood Festival Speed on the Thursday as he'll be driving the Gen 4 Formula E car up the hill. I will be there Thursday and Friday next week. Goodwood Festival Speed is obviously a big motorsport event. As well, in terms of the Formula E Championship, let's have a look, shall we, at the driver standings for Formula E. Let's get them up now for you guys. Doesn't look like we can find them at the moment. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can get the driver's standings up for Formula E. We don't worry about it. The Formula E standings will be available to view on the FIA Formula E website. Just to also confirm, guys, well, Brands Hatch will be hosting Formula E next May as well, along with Zandvoort. So just to confirm, I will hopefully be attending that race. So yes, that's all I can say on that one. Anyway, the next Formula E round is going to be in Tokyo on 25th of July and 26th. Not to mention, Tokyo will now host the season finale next year as well. Obviously, now the London E-Prix has been moved to Brands Hatch as well. Now, we're going to do one more motorsport news tonight. That is the ELMS, the European Le Mans Series, which took place. Obviously, we had Le Mans a few weeks ago. And congratulations to Toyota as well. Mike Conway, Nick De Vries, and Kamui Kobayashi won that race. I think it was in the number 7 or 8 Toyota that won their first win in 4 years at Le Mans. But anyway, let's go over this. The European Le Mans Series now, which is the next one. So they raced at Imola, which is where the season kick-started for the World Endurance Championship. And once again, this time, it was once again another win for the Panis, Orica Orica 07, Orica Gibson, Forester, number 29, Forester Panis Racing. They have had a great season, those guys. Honestly, they won the first round. I'm pretty sure they won their class at Le Mans, but they are doing so well at the moment. The team obviously driven by Esteban Masson, taking the checker flag. Masson winning there. Oliver Gray, Louis Rousset as well. What a win for the team. Another great showing. The number 22 Autosport, United Autosports, Orica finished in second. Ben Handy, Gregor Saucy, and Giffin Pebbles. They're heading to Belgium's championship leaders. The number 25 Orica Racing Gibson competed the podium. Vector Sport also took their first ELMS class trophy with Jay Renault Mola, Sem Buski, and Lorenzo Fluxer standing on the top step. The LMP2 Pro-Am across the line 4.1 seconds ahead of Matteo Jacobsen in the number 20 Algarve Racing Orica as well. The number 21 United Autosports Orica finished in third. Also, CLX Motorsport won LMP, the first LMP3 race since Portimao last year. Reigning champions dominating the category. Louis Iglesias completed the perfect ELMS weekend after claiming pole yesterday, and the French driver took the check flag knee 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the field in that class. As well, and he's joined by on the podium by reigning ELMS champion Paul Lancashire and Alexander Jacobi. Also, as well, we then have LMGT3. The reigning LMGT champions TF Sport got their title defence back on track with the perfect 26-point horn. Imola American driver Blake McDonald and Alec Udell took the checker flag alongside their Irish teammate Charlie Eastwood on the same weekend as the 250th birthday of the United States of America in an American car, the Corvette Z06 LMGT3R. Eastwood finished the race 1.8 seconds ahead of Maxime Martin in number 62 Team Qatar by Iron Links Mercedes, with a number 77 Proton Competition Sport Porsche 911 in third spot. I tell you what, some great racing. I've not watched the highlights. I need to, because ELMS, I always enjoy watching endurance racing, given how difficult Formula One's been at the moment. This has certainly been my cup of tea this year. Watching WEC and watching endurance racing, it's fun to watch. And the Panis guys are still going strong. They're still leading the championship, just putting everything right at the moment. But the pace they've got's mad. When I watched the race in Spain, they were so quick. Obviously, the next round is at Spa. They've got quite a while for the next race. The next race isn't until the 21st of August. So they've got a nice long, probably summer break now. Obviously, that's where the F1 are going next. But anyway, just another thing that I wanted to mention quickly, which I forgot to cover the other day, is the ELMS calendar, which has been announced for next year. That has also been announced. So the calendar in question, I will have to zoom in because it's not the writing's quite difficult to see there. It's going to feature 6 races, along with the Le Mans 24 Hours as a dual double header with the World Endurance Championship. Barcelona will be the prologue on the 8th to 9th of March. And then the first round will take place at Barcelona properly on the 14th, literally a day before my birthday. Wow, so that's a great start to the championship. 4th of March will be Barcelona for the 4 hours of Barcelona. Then the 4 hours of Le Castellet Paul Ricard will be on the 2nd of May. Then we go to Imola for the 4th of July. Obviously, actually, no, apologies. That's the 4 hours of Le Castellet, sorry. That's obviously Paul Ricard, my apologies, not Le Mans, by the way. Le Mans, obviously, they run their own class in it. Imola will be on the 4th of July. Spa-Francorchamps on 22nd of August. 5th of September next year, we head back to Silverstone for the 4 hours of Silverstone. Also next year, World Endurance will be racing in April, which is the one I'm hoping to attend next year. And then the final round will conclude at Portimao, the Algarve circuit, on the 2nd of October. So yes, plenty of news as well. And also a very sad news, Mark van der Straten sadly passing away. It's with sadness that the ELMS family have lost a member as well. Mark van der Straten, very, very sad loss. You know, Mark Stratton. Very, very sad news, you know. Yeah, just very, very sad news. Yeah, just very, very sad news. Mark Stratton's death. I'm pretty sure he was born in the 1940s. Yes, former world superbike, 78 years old, Mark Stratton, former world superbike racing founder, sadly dead. Very, very sad. He leaves a legacy of spanning Moto2 titles. Yes, he used to be a very popular motorbike enthusiast. So, yes, very, very sad news to lose Mark. I hope everyone's doing well at the moment, and my thoughts are with his family right now on this difficult day at the moment. Anyway, that's it for the Racing Line podcast week. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and have a great rest of the weekend. And I will be keeping an eye on Goodwood Festival Speed next week. So some more content will be coming up soon. Take care, everyone, and good night.